Hi, everyone. I want to take a few minutes to talk about the physical education requirement at Islander Middle School. It's important to note that physical education is required for all middle school students in the state of Washington. That said, there are a couple exceptions to that. And of those is if there's a religious reason that your child cannot participate in physical activity at school, or number two, if you as a family feel your child is receiving enough physical activity through their directed sports participation outside of the school day. We really encourage participation in PE at school. We think it's a really important place and time for students to not only learn about their body and how to use it appropriately through activity, but also to burn off a little bit of steam. Because we all know being in middle school is a time of big change in growth and development. That said, it is ultimately up to the family to determine if you feel your child is getting enough activity time outside of the school day. If your child's involved in directed sports, like they belong to a team, if they're on a swim team or they do gymnastics or play soccer, and you really feel that they're spending ample time involved in that activity, you can opt to fill out a PE waiver. And as you can see, I have a sample on the screen. We would ask as a parent, you fill this out to make sure you identify the specifics of that activity. You want to make sure that it is a legitimate activity that the student is involved in on a regular basis. And so we require that in order to not take gym at school, that you as a family make a determination whether or not you feel the PE waiver is appropriate. If you choose to go this pathway, we would ask that you fill this out and make sure it gets turned in to the counselor or the registrar, or with the packet and the registration worksheet when that's turned back into teachers. It's super important that we have this on file, because if we don't have the waiver returned, we are required by the state of Washington to have your child enrolled in a PE class. We would ask that you think about whether or not it makes sense for your child to take PE at school, and carefully consider if the waiver process is one that is appropriate for you and your child.